Okay, after this we've got IELTS speaking part 2, cue card. Now some students think cue card is difficult. Cue card is the easiest one, simplest one. Why? Topic is in front of you. When examiner asks you a question, you don't know what the question, sometimes you can misunderstand the question, but when it is cue card, topic is in front of you. They give you pen and paper also. 1 minute time to read the topic and all that. I have noticed this thing that there are 2 books which I've already shared with you. No, I'll share. There are 2 books. If you do cue cards from those 2 books, they are more than enough, right? A class fellow of yours has got speaking. Where is that guy who's got speaking? No, he's got speaking. He got the topic which we have discussed in the class several times. What was cue card topic? Movie. Mooli? Movie, okay, all right. I heard Mooli because of the mask thing, okay? All right. So this movie topic, describe a movie you once watched, right? So we've got 2 books. I'll share them with you. You just go through every cue card. Basically, you know, the point is, now when they gave him the topic movie, he was happy because he had been through that topic already. So at least I don't want you to get any surprise in your speaking part 2. Right? So that's why the 2 books which I'm going to share with you, if you go through all the cue cards, it's going to be one of those or it's going to be something similar. If not exactly the same, it's going to be similar. Now what you need to do, when they give you the cue card, first of all you say, Acha, all right, cue card. I knew that, yeah, okay. So first you read all the cue card, then you start thinking, and by the time you pick up the pen to write the points, examiner says you now have to speak on the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. And then you say, 1 minute is gone, right? So listen, don't read all the cue card. By the way, put the paper over, and this is also a mistake that you say, I don't want to write anything. In my speaking test, I did this mistake and that's why I got 8 band. Okay, I did not write any point because you know the topic, I'm already a good storyteller. I teach English, I speak English, so for me it's okay. And they will not check these notes. They will not check these notes. After you, they will just throw them into the dustbin. So on cue card, there are 2 parts. Part 1 is main topic. Part 2 is cues, or we call them bullet points. Part 1 is main topic. Part 2, cues. First of all, you will only read the main topic. Don't look at the cues. Just read the main topic. Describe a TV program you often watch. Describe a city you would like to visit in the future. Describe a language that you want to learn. Okay, so once you read the main topic of the cue card, immediately, and one more thing, the font size of your writing on that day should be bigger, right? Don't make small ants. You should write, I mean, they will give you a paper, so you can write something big. So if it is describe a TV program you often watch, you can write very big, Hard Talk on BBC. For example, Hard Talk on BBC. You should say, now look at the point number 1 and write down your point number 1. Look at point number 2 and write down your own point number 2. Look at point number 3 and write down your own point number 3. And at the end, there is something, and describe why you particularly or how you particularly feel about it. And you should write a point as well, outline as well. Another mistake, I conduct mock tests here. The other day I was conducting speaking mock test. I gave the cue card, pen and paper. And after 1 minute, that candidate gave me cue card back. Sir, lele, this is yours. Don't do that. At the time of speaking, now this is the cue card. These are my notes. Here they are. Pen is in my hand. 1 finger here. All right. Well, the TV program that I like the most and I watch it twice a week, that TV program is Hard Talk on BBC. Did you notice I looked at my point also, but I did not stop. It's not that, Hard Talk on TV. I watched the program. No, not like that. I mean, naturally. You might see on TV, the newscasters or other guys say, hard talk. All right, there are several reasons why I like this program, why you like this program, right? First of all, you can use signpost language. For each bullet point, first of all, in this program, they ask really harsh questions which are answered by politicians, prime ministers, and all that. So this is the beauty of the program. It really becomes hard for the people who come in this program to answer the questions. That is why I like it. Well, I watched this program on YouTube. So, I mean, it's not how often. Now I'm answering second question. So you should give a feeling to the examiner. So you can take a look at the notes. You can take a look at the topic card. I'm using the word take a look. I'm not saying, first of all, I conducted speaking test in Q card. The first candidate who came for mock test, speaking test, what he said, this Q card is very close to my heart. I said, really, sweetheart? Come on, why are you saying this? This Q card is very close to my heart. Or this Q card is very important. This Q, never give your own opinion how the Q card is. Exactly, start speaking on it. And there's another thing. Some students, they use indirect approach. Describe a TV program you often watch. Nowadays, TV programs have become very common. People usually like to watch TV programs, blah, 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 and all that. No, you should start directly. Do you understand? The TV program that I would love to watch is, and then you can go on with that. So that examiner knows. Another important point just came to my mind, which I would like to tell you. It should not slip out of my mind. Cue card. All right, it just came. All right, I'll just tell you about that. Yeah, so don't do any indirect talk. Start the cue card from the topic and then go on. One more thing. Throughout your speaking test, maintain good eye contact with the examiner, right? In actual IELTS test, you will even not be allowed to wear a watch. You know why? Because you are Asians. There can be a bomb in your watch, okay? Or you are clever people, there can be a camera in your watch and you are making video of the examiner and then you are leaking it. So even watches, any electronic devices, they will be removed. So examiner's face is the best timer for you, because when examiner is looking at you, examiner will give you the gesture to stop. When to stop. If you finish before a minute, examiner will say, go on, a little more. They are good. They're not that bad, okay? Yeah. So if you are exceeding the time limit, then they say just finish. So when they say this, conclude your, do not stop abruptly. Like you're speaking, and I like it. You finished abruptly. See, Baji to siap roki hai. Not like that, okay? Never call Baji to the examiner, okay? This will not help, right? So you should look at the face of the examiner. In part 1 also, examiner's eyes and facial expressions will tell you this much is enough, right? Then answer the next question and all that stuff, right? In part 3 also, facial expressions of the, and part 2, let me tell you, you have no means of knowing whether you have spoken for 1 minute or 2 minutes. So speak as long as you are interrupted by the examiner. If examiner stops you, then you stop. If examiner doesn't stop you, go on. And one more thing, although it is important to cover the bullet points, right? So it's a good idea in 1 to 1.5 minutes, you can cover all the bullet points. And then if you're given a gesture by the examiner to stop, you can stop there, right? So part 2 is simple. It's going to be in front of you. Topic is there. Read the topic wisely. Decide immediately. Don't waste your time in deciding, describe a TV program, oh, this one, no, that one, this one, that one. And then at the end you say, oh, that one could be better if I would have spoken on. This happens with the students, right? So, I mean, examiner doesn't know what your favorite TV program is. They will only check your English, your expression. One more thing, in speaking part, yes, in speaking part 2, you must notice carefully that this cue card is in past or present or future. Describe a job you would not like to do in the future. Which tense? Future tense, right? So if they give you a cue card, talk about a city you once visited, past tense. And then the cues are also in past. And sometimes main topic is in present, one cue is in the past. When did you go there? Right? So you should notice that the tenses really matter. You should see what is the tense of the cue card, and then you can speak accordingly. Right? Yes, yeah, another point which I wanted to tell you. In cue card, you must be specific. Specific means if they say describe a movie, and simultaneously you are talking about two movies, Titanic and Three Idiots. Yeah, in Titanic this happens, and Three Idiots this happens. In speaking part 2, you must be specific. This week, during my online classes, I asked a lady about shopping mall, and she described 5 to 6 shopping malls. See that? You cannot elaborate on that well. So in speaking part 2, you must be specific. Okay.